What's up, y'all? T-Bob here from Snaps, daily college football show that I hope you really enjoy. And I've been getting a lot of crap on my show lately about, choosing Alabama over Texas. You know what I didn't do, though? I didn't bet on him. You know who I did bet on? Kansas, okay? And I did it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app because when it comes on where I like to gamble, I love the DraftKings app. And it's because they got incredible offers. If you're already a DraftKings customer, well, check this out. Every single NFL game day during September, you're not going to have just one, but two new offers waiting on you when you sign in. So you'll have to sign in to see exactly what those offers are. But just remember, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, every NFL game day, all customers getting two exciting offers from DraftKings to play with. It's a ton of fun. But what if you're a new customer? Well, I've got an even better deal for you. You use the promo code TBOB when you sign up, okay? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code TBOB, TBOB. You bet $5 on any NFL game, you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's right. Put $5 down on any of the games. Don't even have to win. You get $200 instantly in bonus bets. You can go play with those on college football, NFL, whatever you want. You can play with those and some of those incredible deals you get. So you see it. There's not a more fun place to get in on the action than DraftKings, and you can do all your same game parlays, multi-game parlays, whatever you want. So download the app now, sign up with the promo code TBOB, TBOB, $5 gets you $200 in bonus bets instantly. And for returning customers, remember, every NFL game day, two exciting new offers from your official sports betting partner of the NFL, DraftKings. The crown is yours. Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome. That's a pretty dated ad, by the way. We just did record a new one yelling, I didn't bet on Alabama. I bet on Kansas. The weekend after Alabama was one of our few DraftKings wins and Kansas got demolished. Sounds especially dumb. But hey, that's something new if you're a Snaps fan. Welcome in Monday. Aaron, do you know what month it is, baby?
It is October. Take season.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of, setting you up for TAKEtober there. You kind of fuck that all up. It is TAKEtober, people, okay? And it's called TAKEtober because, look, during the end of August, beginning of September, we're still learning, okay? We don't fully know. We're barely scratching into conference play. Now we can learn. We've learned, okay? We have volume to work with. We know a bit of who's real, who's not, and so we're going to craft our greatest takes based off of that, and we want to hear yours as well. Huge thank you to everyone. Remember, all these Monday shows always on YouTube, youtube.com/@VolumeSnaps. We're like 30 subs away from 6K, people. So if you are in here, look, Texas rocks. T-Bob, nice Kansas bet. Fucking relax. It's an old ad, okay? It's an old ad from when Texas beat Kansas. Or no, when Texas beat Alabama all that time
they
ago.
just beat Kansas. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Chill out. I'm a little flustered. TAKEtober's got me all.
I love your shirt, though. I love your shirt, T-Bob, right now.
Let's go Buffs, baby.
Roughing the Buffs.
Let's go Buffs, 1990 national champs. Yeah, I got this a few weeks ago. Go Beavs, welcome back, Clint Moses. Hey, and let's remember, everybody, every Monday we're here live on YouTube, like we said, but you can always just Google Snaps Podcast, tell your friends about it, all that stuff. Aaron Murray, what's up, man? How we feeling today? Your dogs, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, barely a little bit on Sunday. Your dogs looking a little sketchy this weekend. How we recovering?
They just need me to be back in Athens this weekend and give them a little pep talk. I'm going to give Kirby the weekend off. I'll be there in Athens before Kentucky. And I think Kirby's great for the halftime speech. I think he needs someone for the pregame speech because right now, to start the season, the first and second quarter, I think I saw the stat earlier today. I think they're right at 0 for point differential in the first quarter of this season. Like this team does not get off to a hot start. Like they rely on the fact that Kirby's going to come in there at halftime, give some incredible halftime speech. But guess what, Kirby? You can only do so many of those halftime speech before it just goes right over the guy's heads. Like you got to save some for the playoffs. So let your boy come in there before the game on Kentucky. I'll give a great pregame speech. That way you can take halftime up because they'll be up by 30 points and it'll be all Gucci. Let's go. Appreciate it.
All right, look, we open every show with an opening comment. This comes from the YouTube channel. This is Mitch6702 says, great analysis, Aaron. You have always done your due diligence in the film room. Defensively, we have to plug these holes now. Kirby is the coach to do it. Let's support our team. Lots of competition still on our schedule. Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mizzou, and Tennessee are looming large on the horizon. Let's get it together. This schedule's been talked about being easy. Not so sure about that. First off, Mitch, I think you should unplug your own hole by taking Aaron's cock out of it because it seems to be firmly lodged in there. And secondly,
that's how you get to 6,000 followers right there. That by telling the subscribers to take someone's cock out of their mouth is the number one way to do it.
It feels a little crass too, doesn't it? Like, I know I have a salty mouth. I know I'm a dirty boy, but the COCK word feels like, I feel even a little aggressive saying it. Secondly, I kind of love moist because it sounds exactly like what it means. Secondly, look, Kentucky, they're okay. You know, whatever. I'll give them the second point. The UGA schedule does look slightly harder than it originally appeared to be. It's TAKEtober, and we've seen some people start to emerge. Greg LeMond pointed out that, for all my Georgia hate, that here LSU is scoring 49 points for the first time in 130 years of playing football and losing the game. LSU's defense is fucking garbage. Absolute garbage. All right. Let's get into TAKEtober. Aaron, I have crafted 3 fire takes.
Nice.
That are going to, Clint says more content like this can be found on Aaron's OnlyFans than with the court. No, it's only snaps, and it's our fallback plan. If the volume ever gets rid of us, we're going to need all of y'all, all the loyal homies in here, to come subscribe to our Only Snaps so we can keep doing the show. All right, let's get into our TAKEtober festivities, as it is upon us. We are balls deep in football season, and it's time to give you our best takes. And Aaron, I'm going to start with one that hits me. I loathe it, but I kind of believe it. And that is the Texas A&M Aggies are going to win the SEC West. Yes. After all the jokes, 5-7 last year, Jimbo Fisher's done. I even said earlier this season, Jimbo's going to be fired. All of a sudden, you look up, and A&M seems as well suited as anyone to emerging out of the West. And partially it's because the West is wide open, right? Everybody's got some glaring defenses, or some glaring weaknesses. However, A&M seems to arguably be the best mixture of offense and defense left in that half of the conference. Like, there's not an offense on their schedule that is going to challenge them like Miami did. The only one that would be able to do that would be LSU. And then, we all know you should be able to just tear up LSU's defense so it doesn't matter. They should have beaten Alabama last year with Jalen Milroe, as you pointed out, Aaron, right? But this is a game that is now going to be in College Station, and this is an A&M team that is significantly better. Max Johnson plays with great poise. He's won big games in this league before. They're first in total defense in the SEC. They're fourth in scoring offense. And, it's weird again because so they're really good defensively. Offensively, they're kind of like 4, 6, 7, which isn't great. But again, you got to look at both sides of the ball. I think they're probably the best combination left.
Yep.
They have elite weapons. So I fucking loathe it, but I think A&M might win the West, dude.
I listen, I thought LSU was that team. I didn't believe in Alabama heading to the season. You guys know how I felt about them. LSU is greatly disappointed. That may be one of our takes at some point, but we're going to focus on A&M here. 15 TFLs in each of the last 2 games. They lead the conference with 49 tackles for losses this season. They can get after the quarterback. They can stuff the run. Yeah, they struggled versus Miami throwing the football, but like you alluded to, T-Bob, I guess LSU can give them some troubles at some point, but LSU also can't stop anyone. It's yes, they are the most complete football team when you put them together, what they can accomplish on both sides of the football. And Max Johnson looks great. Like, he had a tremendous game. I was listening to some other show. This was last week. And this just shows you, some shows just jump on and do content without really doing any kind of research or watching the tape. They go, A&M's going to lose so much of the quarterback position when it comes to athleticism. Like Max Johnson can't
Max
run.
Johnson's way more athletic.
They're like, that to me, that's our biggest concern is now all of a sudden they have a pocket quarterback that can't run. Like, he's not Brad. This isn't Brad Johnson, his dad. Just, you can't assume it's Brad Johnson's son, so he must not be athletic. He's just going to sit in the pocket. Like, no, you upgraded as an athlete at the quarterback position. And Max had some great runs in this game this past weekend. So I really want to like tweet at the show, but I don't want to be an asshole. But I'm just like, do your damn research. This kid is athletic. He can throw the ball extremely well. I'm not saying like it's an upgrade. I think like you and I both said, like what you thought about A&M before is the same with what Wegman to now where Max Johnson is. So offensively, you're great. Defensively, you're a tenacious front seven. You can get after the quarterback. You can stop the run. I think A&M wins this weekend. I want to know what the spread is because I would love to put a little money line bet on A&M to beat Alabama.
I agree with Dank. Research is for nerds. You just got to fire from the hip. Like when I feel it in my balls that
it's not even research, just watch the tape.
When I feel it in my balls that Sark sucks, I got to say it. Now, it doesn't always work out when you fire from the hip, but hey, every now and then you hit that bullseye, dog. You're feeling good. I love this from the chat. Who was it? Cody Brunet says, my TAKEtober take is that FSU actually not that good. And the reason why is because remember the question for LSU FSU week 1 was who was better, LSU being bad or FSU being good? And God, Aaron, you look now and like because like FSU wasn't great against Clemson, right? They weren't great against Boston College.
But they won on the offense road, though. Like, take something out of that though.
I'm not taking any. I'm just saying like I had them as maybe the number 1 team in the country. Now they feel like 5 to 10. Like I'm just not as impressed as I was with them previously.
But I also don't know who's going to challenge them on their schedule going forward. Like, is Duke going to challenge them in a few weeks? Is their quarterback even going to be healthy? Will Miami be that challenge? We obviously know Florida's not going to be a challenge.
Him. Yeah, Duke and Miami.
Yeah, but it depends on if the quarterback's healthy for Duke. He got banged up this past game for Notre Dame. I haven't heard exactly what the extent of that injury is. Miami may challenge them. I mean, they get both those games in Tallahassee, though. And like I said, Florida's not going to challenge. So like,
good, bad, whatever. Like this team
still has a very clear path to making it to the Final Four. And then once you get in there, they still have the pieces on any given day to get extremely hot on offense and win a football game. So like, I'm not going to just give up on Florida State just because Clemson is not elite like they're used to. And maybe LSU is not as good as we thought they were, at least on one side of the football. I still think Florida State has the pieces to win, maybe not a national championship, but to get into the playoffs to be one of those Final Four teams.
Shout out Dank for the $10 super chat. That was a classic case of Clemsoning at home. The dang portal's reaming Dabo out real good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think it's Clemsoning because I think Florida State made the play, but the portal is killing Dabo. All right, Aaron, give me your first TAKEtober celebratory take.
Hey, I'm going to stay on the Texas theme, baby. The Texas Longhorns going to win that national championship this year. You want to talk about the most complete team in America? We talk about the most complete team in the SEC West. The most complete team right now in college football is the Texas Longhorns. They can beat you on offense. They can beat you on defense. They got an experienced offensive line that has gotten better and gained more confidence since that Alabama game. Quinn Ewers is playing tremendous. They got elite receivers. They got a good run game that's going on right now. And you have maybe one of the best front sevens in college football. The secondary is going to be a question, and we're going to get to learn a little bit more about them this weekend versus Oklahoma and their passing attack. But, Dylan Gabriel's also going to, maybe on his back a lot. So we'll see, how much that front seven helps a struggling secondary. But when you want to talk about picking holes on a football team, Texas has the least amount of holes to essentially figure out for anyone else in the conference or the country. And then they're elite at a lot of positions as well. So yes, Texas is the most complete team. And right now they're winning games that they should win, and they're winning them big. I have a lot of faith that Texas will be one of those Final Four teams. I think they have the best chance to win a national championship right now.
So Aaron, I guess we've been working together too long because it's like you've kind of reached into my brain. My second take. Ooh, and this is a hard one for me because this, I got a lot of bad film out there, when this comes to pass. But my second take is that Steve Sarkisian is going to win National Coach of the Year. Ooh. An absolute disaster for me after I spent 8 months telling all Texas fans that he was guaranteed not the guy going to fail you. Now, the only part I disagree with is this. I don't know that I think Texas is going to win a natty, but if they win this weekend, they're absolutely winning the Big 12. They're absolutely winning the playoff. If Steve Sarkisian wins the Big 12 and takes Texas to the playoff, that's Coach of the Year. Like the media, rightfully so, will rush to crown him coach of the year. And this is why I say you reach in my brain, because next here on my notes is, and rightfully so, he's put together arguably the most complete roster in college football right now.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to Texas, going to win 10 games for the first time ever if you're Coach Sark. And they got to win this weekend, though.
They do.
Got to beat Oklahoma this weekend.
It'll be a great game. We'll have a great. I started watching film on both teams last night, so we'll have a fun breakdown either on Wednesday or Thursday for that one. So be tuned here on Snaps, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. All right, my next hot take for Taketober is this: there will not be a Pac-12 team to make the playoffs this year.
Oh God, that's a good.
They are about to get into the meat of their schedule right now, and they're about to start playing each other every single weekend. We already lost one of them. Utah's probably out. They lost this past weekend to Oregon State. I don't see them running the table. So there's one of your big boys who has won the Pac-12 the past few years.
Wait, I said this Sunday, and you disagreed. What happened in the last 24 hours?
The Pac-12?
Just that like there was a big four, now they're down to a big three. So
no, they are.
Like,
yeah,
they
are. Well,
cool.
Maybe not to lose. There's still a path to win the Pac-12. I just don't think that they're going to be a one-loss Pac-12 champion. Like, they can still win it, but I do think they stumble along the way somewhere else this season.
The odds agree with you, Aaron. The Pac-12 teams are 7, 8, and 9, respectively, to win the national championship.
Yeah.
So there's no one in the top 6.
Which is sad because it is by far the best conference. You could make a case that some of those teams are maybe in consideration for one of the best teams in the country. Like Oregon, the way they played, Washington. I know they had a little bit of a somewhat closer game this weekend. Like those two teams, I think could win a national championship. I just don't know if they're going to get there. You have to get there, and their schedules are too tough. And you look around the country right now. If Texas wins this weekend, their schedule's pretty easy the rest of the way out. So, like, I feel pretty good that Texas will be in it.
100%.
Michigan probably is going to be in it. Ohio State is not going to, like, Penn State's a fraud, somewhat of a fraud. And I don't know if that's a take or not, but like Penn State is going to lose both those games.
If you're guaranteeing today, after how dominant Penn State has looked at times this year, because and there's a lot of box score watching, because if you look at all of Penn State's box scores, it all looks great. A bit like Georgia in that regard. So it's like, so you're telling me that you think Penn State's going to lose both those games, guaranteeing it again?
I will guarantee it again. Penn State will lose both those games, especially for the fact that one that would be closer is Ohio State is on the road there at Ohio State. They get Michigan at home. Michigan's a better football team. They'll lose both. Michigan probably wins the Big Ten. Ohio State's probably 11-1, loses a close game at Michigan. Probably going to get two Big Ten teams in again. And then all of a sudden, okay, well, fine. Just one. Let's just say one. Texas, Michigan. Those are top two. I think Florida State's probably getting in.
Yep.
I mean, SEC team.
Yeah. Well, Georgia has to win the SEC championship. We'll see.
I just think the Pac-12, they are going to cannibalize themselves here in the next month.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the Pac-12 schedule, it's just banger after banger. I mean, it is spooky season for the Pac-12 contenders because you're getting tested every single fucking week at this point. Kenny says Cam Ward is the best quarterback in the nation. I mean, it's crazy, dude. There's so much good quarterback play out there. I mean, Aaron, you're always talking about Caleb Williams, and rightfully so. Caleb Williams is perfect. He's like a perfect. If he had a little more size, he would be a literal perfect NFL prospect.
He's plenty. He's like 6'2".
Why do I always think he's like 6'1"?
I guess an inch matters.
But also isn't like 6'2" not technically like I said perfect NFL prospect. Like 6'2" is technically maybe a little under, but whatever. Caleb Williams is the favorite for the Heisman right now, and Jaden Daniels' numbers are right there with him, actually, no, Caleb Williams is ahead of all of them, but he's right there with Michael Penix, and there's Van Dyke, who's the second highest rated quarterback in the country. McCarthy's at 5, Brady Cook's up there now at 7, Cam Ward at 8, Bo Nix, Hartman at there's so much good quarterback play in college football this year. It's incredible. I love this. Texas Rock says, T-Bob believes in Texas now. Fuck my life. We're done. Congrats to Oklahoma. Hey, maybe so, dude. Maybe so. I've been wrong a lot lately. I don't think you're right here, Kenny. I love it for Taketober, but Cam Ward is not the Heisman front runner right now, unfortunately. Okay, my next Taketober take. You probably guessed this one. Your Georgia Bulldogs, if you're out there listening, are not going to win the national championship. I almost extended this to SEC championship, but I'm not as confident on that front. And I'm only really putting this in here, Aaron, because I need you to just admit the truth here on this first day of TAKEtober. And I like the Auburn win. I think the Auburn win's respectable. It's big. You go on the road into the heart of the Taliban, the Taliban, excuse me. Jordan Hare was on fire. That's a good-ass defense. Carson Beck's never done it before. You find a way to win. That is great. I am not taking away from that. Yep. But I don't feel like Georgia's on the same level as Texas. I feel like Michigan is better with J.J. McCarthy than UGA is with Carson Beck. I know you don't like Penn State, but out of like Penn State, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Ohio, I feel like these are teams that could all be capable of coming away with a win on a day against UGA. Not saying I would take them, right? But in the past, you haven't seen a single team that you've been like, okay, they could have probably handled Georgia for a day. It is clearly a more fallible Georgia. It's never been done before. 3-23 is not happening. And I'm not trying to hate Danny Benny. I'm not hating.
I know you're not
I'm saying
trying
they're
to
going to win. They're going to make the playoff. The Auburn win was big. I'm calling it like it is.
They're struggling right now in spots where they have not struggled for the past couple of years. And I think that's, and I said this in the beginning of the season, like the game of football is still won in the trenches, no matter how much teams want to spread you out and go up tempo and throw the ball over the place. Like at the end of the day, it's all about in the trenches, being able to stop the run and being able to run the football. And Georgia for the past 2 years has been like top 5 in essentially rush yards per carry.
Yeah.
And I think right now they're somewhere in the 60, like 63, 64. Like they're giving up chunk plays in the run game. They're not as dominant up front. Like losing Jalen Carter is bigger than Georgia fans thought it would be. And obviously,
and it's funny because coming into the year, there was some idea that maybe because when he was out last year, that's when teams did run the ball well on Georgia in that like little 4-game gap. It just didn't feel.
And the year before they had Jordan. The year before they had Jordan Davis, who obviously was a mountain of a man and a ton of first round talent on that football team. So like you're not stopping the run like you used to. You're giving up over 100 yards per game. And then you look at them on the offense side of the football, and it's been kind of erratic running the football too. And some of that's due with injuries at the running back position. But right now you have your best running backs mostly healthy. Edwards is kind of 1. Bell should be the 2. And I think he's going to continue to be the number 2 just because he's somewhat, the most explosive guy. But the offensive line has been just all over the place and game to game. Like they're really good pass protection. Like I give them that. Like it's a really good pass protection. I was talking with my boy Ben Jones about that last night when I was watching the tape. Like, man, what's going on with this O-line? It's like, man, they're good pass. They just pass ball every damn time because they are not dominating and displacing defensive linemen to the secondary like we've seen for the past 2 years. So when you want to talk about like the winning formula and going back to why I think Texas is the best team in America, it's because they're running the ball well. They're dominating up front on the offensive line, and then they're dominating defensively. And you could not say that about Georgia right now on either side of the football. So, it's hard for me to kind of make a case right now that Georgia's going to win a championship.
Okay, we've never seen this in the chat before. Michael Wheatley says, roll Terps. Okay, dude. Shout out to Leah Tonga-Valoa. I actually don't know what's going on with Maryland that much this year. I haven't honestly paid that much attention to Maryland yet. Maybe we need to do a check in. Danny telling me to count my days. Look, you just worry about Georgia trying to stack these wins. Okay. You just worry about Georgia trying to make sure that they can count to 3. Eric Jones with a great TAKEtober take. Colorado's secondary, they're down 5 DBs right now, including Travis Hunter, maybe the best in the country. Colorado's secondary gonna get healthy and make a run, winning close games with Shadur Shining. He wins the Heisman at 9-3.
They're about to be my next TAKEtober.
He could go. Okay, what is it?
Well, I'll finish what you're saying. Like he can go to New York, but the fact that he's lost to 2 Heisman contending quarterbacks already, and both of them had better games, he's out of the Heisman confrontation. He is. It ain't gonna happen. I will say this though: like Colorado will make a bowl game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going 8-4. I still got them at 8-4, dude. I know you don't. I do.
I don't know. Like I think 6-6 is kind of the more you look at the schedule and you look at how some of these teams are playing right now. Like Arizona State, Stanford, the next 2, you should win both those games. That's 5-2 right there. So you got to find one more win. You have to go on the road to UCLA, which is not like this crazy road environment by any means, but that's a physical team that can run the football. A little bit worried about that one, but I think that is a possible win because last time we saw UCLA and their quarterback, he wasn't playing that well against a really good Utah team on the road, but still it's a freshman quarterback. Oregon State, I don't like that one. The sixth win to me is Arizona, because then you have to go to Washington State on a Friday night. I don't like that one.
Pullman on a Friday night there's like black magic in the air.
Yeah,
Pullman doesn't
at
fuck
Utah.
around.
So like, I don't know where you're finding 8 wins. Like, I think 6 is a good number, and then if you could beat UCLA, then that's 7 right there.
Yeah, no, I think
they're
8
with a bowl.
UCLA.
No.
I think they have the potential. Well, probably 8 with a bowl. Yeah, but no, I think they beat UCLA. I would take them over UCLA right now. And I know UCLA's defense has been pretty salty, but like, I like Shadur and company. Yeah. Okay. Dart Janus asked Snaps, where in the world is T-Cobb? Did the Corn Hub get taken offline? I told y'all a million times, Matt Rule year 2 is where it's at. Okay. Find me the tape where I said Nebraska was going to be good this year, because it didn't fucking happen. It absolutely happened. I said it a lot. Remember, Nebraska's not that bad. That's the big secret here. Blah, blah, blah. T-Cobb was wrong. And when you're wrong and you're one of the many voices that lives inside my head, you have to get shuffled back to the back of the line. Okay. So Sco Buffs Bob is here. T-Cobb is fucking out, but he's only dormant. Okay. Not forever. Only dormant. T-Cobb will be back eventually. Is not the year. Greg wants to know, Aaron, if you think Jaden Daniels gets invited to New York City.
Yes, because he's gonna
really.
Yeah, because I still think
he deserves to, but I don't think he will, because I think you're going to stack too many losses.
Yeah, but if he puts up crazy stats and the defense doesn't improve, even with their new defensive line coach or assistant or whatever the hell it's going to be, like, if you're still scoring 5 or 6 touchdowns a game and you put up those kind of stats, you're going to get that. Like, once again, we talked about the Pac-12, all those Heisman contending quarterbacks, they're going to start playing each other. So a lot of those guys are going to start knocking the other ones out of the equation. Just like we talked about with Shadur right now. Why is he not going to go to New York? Well, he's played too many other top guys that have beat him and put up better stats in those games. So, some of these guys are going to start knocking themselves out of the question of going to New York, because one's going to look better than the other one. They're like, oh, well, we can't vote for multiple Pac-12 quarterbacks, and this one beat this one and had a better game. So let's put all of our votes for Caleb and not Bo, or for Michael instead of Caleb, whatever it is. Like, so you're going to lose some of those guys on the West Coast. And you look at the SEC right now, I can't really name a Heisman contending player other than Jaden. This is still considered by a lot of people. SEC. Yeah, this is still considered by a lot of people. The brand of the SEC is massive. So if you are an elite quarterback putting up crazy numbers in the SEC, you're going to get a lot of love from voters in the Southeast. And I think Jaden's going to get a lot of love unless Brock continues to ball out. Like, that's someone that you don't want to forget about either. Like, Brock Bowers put the team on his back, but he's a tight end. He can get knocked out of games because of the position he plays. So if Jaden puts up the numbers, there's a really good chance he'll be there.
But tight end sounds like the perfect, like, hey, let's invite him, but he has no chance of winning, right? That's like when like a D tackle goes, and it's like, good for you. You got here, but like, you ain't fucking winning, dude. Like Devontae Smith had to like literally like seemingly rewrite the record books to come away. And there wasn't a dominant quarterback like there is this year. Okay. Who said roll Terps earlier, guys? Aaron, have you looked at Maryland this year?
Nope. I'll be honest.
Bro, they're undefeated.
I know they're undefeated, but that's
2-0 in the Big Ten, and they beat the shit out of everybody. They beat the shit out of Towson right now. Charlotte to start. Talia is the second highest rated quarterback in the Big Ten. Well, they beat the fuck out of Virginia. They beat the fuck out of Michigan State. They beat the fuck out of Indiana. I'm saying you're playing bad teams. You're beating them badly. There's somebody said for that.
0-5.
Bro, they're in. I know. No, I'm not saying
Virginia's.
You don't get to say who have they played. Okay, Georgia fan, shut the fuck up. You played one game on the road. You played one game on the road all year long, dude. You don't get to do that. Anyway, yeah, they'll lose to Ohio State this weekend, but they'll beat Illinois, beat Northwestern. Penn State's in. Like, could they beat Penn State and win the West?
I am,
or win the East. Which
so over Penn State. I am so over Penn State. I'll be honest with you.
The East. They're in the East. Could they win the East? Terps, Big East champs. Let's go, dude. Wow.
No, they're not going to win the East. Calm down.
Why not? Why not?
Michigan.
You told me Penn State was going to lose 2 games.
There's Michigan. There's Ohio State.
No, Michigan's in the. Oh, my bad, dude. I was thinking West Michigan. My bad. I fucked up. That's on me. Hand up. My bad.
Where are you
Right.
going
I got a
with
little
this one?
excited.
You
I
did.
got a
You
little
got a little turp horny there.
I did. My bad. Dude. My bad. Were you like told as a kid not to touch turtles because they were like especially dirty?
No, I had a pet turtle, Frankie.
But like a wild turtle. Oh, what's up? How long did you have Frankie?
Like 2 weeks. Then we had to let him go in the wild.
2 weeks. What
Kind of smelled.
They do smell. Hermit crabs smell. But wait, you can't just if you get a.
I think he was a wild turtle that we brought him home, built him his own little ecosystem, and then it just really started to smell bad. So then we let him go.
Okay. It still feels like you kind of committed to taking care of something, then let it go to the wild when it became inconvenient. But
I was like 8 years old. So, I mean, you blame an 8-year-old me for being immature.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Maybe if you showed
TAKEtober. Aaron doesn't care about his children. TAKEtober.
Yes. I mean, there's been
I just sent Maddox off to DC with his mom because I don't want to babysit him all week when he's on fall break. Just take him to DC.
How about Quad Bob bringing the Mountaineers some good luck in the bar in Morgantown and mugshots, slamming chili dogs at 9 months old, full WVU gear on, and what do the Mountaineers do? Big time win for Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and get into this is chat. Let's go ahead and get into the biggest winners and losers of the weekend. Aaron, give me your biggest winner.
Biggest winner of the weekend, I would say Colorado. At the end of the day,
I have them on my list as well.
Do you? What a massive win! And I think it goes with we were expecting another blowout versus like that happened versus Oregon the week before. And they went out there and they fought. And I said this on Saturday during our show. Like, that was the thing that I was most concerned about. Like, was Colorado a bunch of front runners, or could they get punched in the mouth, get up, and keep fighting? And they got knocked out somewhat versus Oregon, or they did get knocked out. They got knocked out in the first half versus USC. But they got their butts up. They continued to fight. And they made it a 1-score game versus USC. Man, like, that is, to me, shows you what kind of culture that Dion is building. And I thought that was pretty awesome. Those guys that keep fighting. So big winner for me was Colorado.
Yeah, and I know that like some of the hardos would be like, oh, no, loss is a loss, but I think we're adults. We can engage in nuance. And no, like I think if you polled the majority of the Colorado fans leaving the stadium, Aaron, that they were happy. They weren't happy at first, but they were happy with the finish. They were happy with the fight, everything else that Aaron just talked about. So yeah, I had Colorado as one of my big winners. And then I got, this is another one where I was super wrong. I got Neil Brown as a winner. I mean, I told you that I thought that Neil Brown was going to be fired 5 games into the season. Instead, after losing to Penn State badly to open up the year, win over Duquesne, whatever, but they win the backyard brawl 17-6 over Pitt, which absolutely goes a long way with Mountaineer fans. You beat Texas Tech, a team that was pretty damn good last year, by 20-13. The defense is rock and roll. And then you come back, you go into Dallas and come away with a win over the team that played in the Natty last year at TCU. And you did it in all 3 phases, blocking 2 field goals in the 4th to get the win. So, like, Neil Brown, West Virginia Mountaineers, I don't know if I'm a Neers fan, how I'm feeling about it, because you probably don't believe in him really anyway. But either way, 4-1, massive back-to-back wins. And now you got Holgerson and Houston coming up. Let's go, W. Let's see how far
Let's go, baby.
All right,
I'm going to go big losers for the weekend. Quarterbacks that choose schools to put up stats instead of win championships.
Okay, I can't. Who are we talking about here?
Who are we talking about?
Yeah, give me the list.
Just a couple of quarterbacks that put up crazy stats, but they ain't going to win championships because their defenses suck. So it's a little loser on them, unfortunately. It's not their fault, but it is.
Well, you have to give us names, though.
Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels didn't choose LSU for stats. He chose LSU to try to win a natty. Just the defense fucking sucks.
Okay, well, I guess the losers are both defenses. There you go. I'm just trying to put a slight twist on it. But Caleb did choose to go to a quarterback or head coach that does produce a lot of Heisman Trophy winners, just not a lot of national championships. So, and he followed him to back-to-back places.
So, so we actually
more
have the
shame
same
on him.
thing here. We have the same thing here, Aaron, only I framed it in a different way. Without a doubt, The biggest losers of the weekend are highly paid defensive coordinators. Matt House makes $2 million. He will next year. Pete Golding makes $1 million. He'll make $2 million next year. Alex Grinch, before he went to USC, I think the contract's private now, but was making $1.8 million at Oklahoma. So you can guarantee there's 5 DCs that make $2 million or $2 million a year right now. 2 of them this weekend, Matt House and Pete Golding, combined to give up 104 points, 1,343 yards, and 14 touchdowns in one fucking game. Fucking losers, one game. Pete Golding should be so happy that Matt House exists. Otherwise, Pete Golding should be getting tarred and feathered in Oxford right now. It is unreal that these guys could get paid that much and be so incredibly inept. And I'm throwing Alex Grinch in there as well. Highly paid defensive coordinators, the biggest losers of the weekend, without a doubt.
Complete frauds. I would go.
Baby cried.
You hear the baby? You hear the baby? I'm gonna go big winner. I'm just on like these losing but finding ways to feel better about yourself kind of theme right now. Hugh Freeze, baby, let's go. The belief in Auburn right now, the juice in that stadium was incredible versus Georgia this weekend. And you went toe to toe with the back-to-back defending national champs. You have a reworked over entire roster. Your quarterbacks looked more comfortable in the system. Your defense played lights out. Like, good for Hugh Freeze, man. That's a hell of a football coach that is building a lot of excitement at a place where you can win. You can win at Auburn. They've done it multiple times over the past couple of decades. You can win a championship there. You have a coach that the fan base believes in. And I talked to Kublik about this a few weeks ago before I had their game. He said everything is aligned right now more than I've ever seen at Auburn, from the boosters to the NIL, to the recruiting, the front desk, front office, and then Hugh Freeze. He has everyone moving in the same direction. So yeah, they're going to win the West this year? Probably not, but they're going to be competitive in games they shouldn't be. And he's going to recruit his ass off. Watch out. Auburn Tigers next 3 years are going to be a team that you're talking about, every couple of years being one of those top 12 teams and going for a playoff berth.
Yeah, Hugh Freeze has achieved program feng shui. It's hard to do. Tyler Benton said, let's hear some more Penn State love. I don't think you're going to get it from Aaron. And I got to dive into the Penn State film before I decide who I believe. Because one of my co-hosts thinks they're the number 1 team in the country. And the other one thinks
Does he still?
Yeah.
After the past 2 weekends.
We didn't talk Monday, but definitely after last weekend, yeah. Okay, other winners, Brady Cook and the Missouri Tigers. I mean, Brady Cook just continues to kick ass, goes off against Vanderbilt. And guess what, Aaron? This weekend, he gets to face LSU. And today, I looked up total defense rankings for Vanderbilt versus LSU. And, LSU's worse than Vanderbilt. So Luther Burden, and I did FBS opponents only. Okay, so I took out the Grambling game and whoever else Vandy has played. Brady Cook was just simply fantastic, and he continues to be one of the most pleasant surprises of this young football season. Here it is, 395 and 4 touchdowns. Second highest rated passer in the SEC.
Broke the record, baby. Most completions in a row without an interception.
Yep.
Shattered it too.
Record. And it's Kellen Moore's little brother, Kirby Moore, SEC, right? Yeah. Other big winners over the weekend, the Red River rivalry. Because lost in the shadow of Texas is the fact that Oklahoma continues to look awesome.
Yep.
The defense looks great. And again, I shit on Brent Venables. Was he the guy? He was recruiting well. Could he fix the defense? They were so bad. He has fixed it. And so now you have a game that feels just light years better than it has the last few years. And huge revenge factor for the Sooners. They got dominated last season. Aaron, do you have any more winners?
I think my last winner, and I was somewhat shocked by this, but not shocked by this. I went back and I was watching Alabama, Mississippi State last night because I just couldn't stay up to watch it Saturday night. And this was the Alabama team that fans were expecting to start the season. Their right tackle, it was like 65, was lifting dudes and putting them on their ass over and over and over again. I mean, they demolished Mississippi State. I mean, they're not a great defensive line by any means, but still, it's an SEC defense. It's a veteran defense, and you made them look like a JV football team. They whooped their butt over and over and over again. Your quarterback looked the best he's looked the entire season, and that defense is fast. I mean, fast. So, like,
Yeah.
It made me start questioning my take, but I put it on Twitter on Saturday that A&M was going to win. So I was like, damn, did I do that a little bit too soon after watching the tape? Because Alabama looks like a very physical, very fast football team. It just comes down to turnovers. Can your quarterback take care of the football the rest of the way? Because the rest of the pieces are coming together right now for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, exactly. Our whole A&M TAKEtober take only works if they win this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, I do have to give 2 more shout outs here before we get to Snap's top 10. Shout out the Big Blue Wall, Kentucky, getting it done on just sheer old school running the fuck out of the ball. I love Ray Davis. He goes for nearly 300 yards on the ground. They asked him after the game what he did. He said, I did nothing. He literally said it. They said, I literally did nothing. It was all about that offensive line, the Big Blue Wall. And on Sunday's show, I already apologized to Mark Poops, but I'll do it again here. Stoops, I called you Mark Poops. You didn't deserve that. And you've now beaten Florida 3 years in a row, 4 of the last 6. That's incredible after losing as much you did. And then finally, Notre Dame, massive bounce back. Gotta have it. Back against the wall, 95-yard field to go. The inverse of the situation you were in just last week. You're on the road. Sam Hartman avoids a safety first play. He has the 4th and 15 scramble. Again, an excellent mirror to last week where he ends up being short on 4th down. This time he gets it, and they find a way to win the game. That is huge for that Notre Dame team. All right. That'll do for winners and losers. Coming up. Yeah, and also loser, Florida having 13 guys on the field and still getting run the fuck over by Ray.
Just dominated
the offensive line. That was so embarrassing. Bad times. TAKEtober? Does Billy Napier survive? Aaron says yes.
Yes.
We'll see,
I literally Florida fans texting me today, asking me that same question. I'm like, just calm down. Calm down.
You better be right.
He's what, 16, 17 games into his tenure at Florida?
Yeah, but bro, we live in an increasingly what have you done for me now? I want it now. And yeah,
they were praising him a week ago when they beat Tennessee about talk about giving him a raise and a new contract.
Bro, what have you done for me lately? 2 weeks ago, people love Brian Kelly. Now there's like buyout talk. They're like, what's going on here? It's the way the world works.
If A&M loses this weekend to Alabama, is there those talks?
Yeah, Jimbo sucks again. Like if A&M loses, all of a sudden they're not winning the West. Jimbo fucking sucks. Bobby Petrino was never the answer. Like, yeah,
people love Lane Kiffin all of a sudden now. People are big Lane Kiffin fans.
No, 100%.
It's one massive win. People love Lane Kiffin.
Ryan Brumley says, welcome to college football. Exactly.
Gotta love it,
even though, again, in 100 years, I want someone to do like a deep forensic history of how Jimmy Sexton created college coach buyout culture, because it is a fucking masterclass in a single man creating a market, competing against himself, and driving the price up for everybody in the market. It is economic manipulation at its highest. It's probably the best of all time.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for our Snaps top 10. Aaron, clearly we agree there's no need for movement at the top. Or I can't remember who had 2 and 3, but Texas won, right?
Texas won.
Texas number 1.
Texas won. Texas is 1. We keep FSU at 2. Can't penalize them. Right?
Did they have a bye week? They had a bye week this last week.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so we're not going to penalize them on a bye. FSU 2, but it's feeling like a shake. They do get a little. Well, we could because LSU looks so shitty. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's still. I think both those games still to me are still impressive, regardless of what the records are. Like, I still think LSU is a really good football team that was still, and then going into Death Valley and winning and finding a way, I still give them 2. I do have some mix up in the next one because I was impressed. We talk about like, all right, we're going to learn a lot about Georgia. We're going to learn about Michigan this weekend, and Michigan dominated. I mean, they absolutely look like the team we expected them to look like heading into the season. So like that was the big question for me of like, all right, you haven't really looked the part for bad teams, and they're not saying Nebraska's great, but like they really dominated. Like Nebraska's been a really stingy defense against the run.
Yeah.
and they worked them. So like I'm moving Michigan back up to 3. They're like
Okay,
this is where it's getting interesting because like we paired them with Georgia, and they passed the eye test more than Georgia this weekend.
Yeah, so they can flip over Georgia, and I think McCarthy's better than Beck. So that's not like I think that all plays.
I got Ohio State at 4.
What about Oregon? You know, all they've done is kick everybody's ass. They feel pretty complete. I take Bo Nix 10 times out of 10 compared to Kyle McCord. No, are you that much of a Ohio State
would, but I
believer?
think Ohio State's football team in general is better than Oregon's. Like from top to bottom, it's a better football team. It's a better defense. It's better receivers, better skill. Offensive lines, I think, still TBD on both teams.
I mean, the Notre Dame win is good. I do think about
on the road.
I know, but I do think about Kyle McCord on that final drive throwing, which should have been a game-sealing pick. But everybody has those moments, so I get it. Doesn't count. Doesn't matter. Okay, I don't feel great about it, but I don't have the stomach to fight it. We can leave Ohio State at 4. And then I think I would go, I'm going to flip Oregon ahead of Washington. I'll go Oregon 5, Washington 6.
Where are you putting Georgia?
Oh, my bad. No. Michigan, sorry. I just assumed that Michigan and Georgia were still attached to the
told you, Michigan and Georgia separated from me after this weekend.
Well, I think Michigan jumped them, or did we already had Michigan ahead?
We had Michigan. No, we had Georgia ahead last week because we kind of kept them in tandem where they were because neither of them have played anyone. But
so don't let Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't get to jump Georgia yet. Then no,
fine.
Michigan, nice. Georgia, then Ohio State. That's 5.
Oregon,
then Washington.
Yep.
I will say this because you know me, I'm a little Husky boy. I don't hate how Washington won this weekend.
No,
because if you look at their schedule, this is literally the exact moment last year where they lost on the road to UCLA, on the road to Arizona State. They go into Arizona. And otherwise last year, they were obviously 11-2 with a bowl win over Texas. So they were perfect otherwise. You go into Arizona. Penix doesn't throw a single touchdown. Arizona forces you to play underneath. You only get 31. You had to rely on your defense, and you pass the test, and you show me you can win in another way. A great championship caliber team is going to be able to win another way. Guess what we get this weekend, Aaron? Washington, Oregon. Let's friggin' go. In Washington this year. Last year, Oregon, or excuse me,
it's
Washington
next week. They're bye week.
It's a bye week. Shit.
It's a bye week. Yeah.
My bad.
Next week.
It's okay. Whatever. Okay. So we'll go Oregon then Washington at 6, 7.
I got Alabama at 8.
We can't do it, bro.
Why not?
We can't.
You put Alabama and Penn State on the field right now. Alabama would kick Penn State's.
We can't do it. We can't. I know. We
kick
lose
Penn State's butt. How would we lose?
You gotta have Penn State. You gotta have Penn State at 8. You gotta.
No, God, Penn State is the most overrated team in America. The most overrated team in America is the Penn State Nittany Lions. They're going to go 10-2 once again this season. It's going to be identical to last year. They do not have the talent to compete with the big boys. Alabama would whoop their butt on a neutral site.
Penn State 8. We can't go Alabama there. Can't do it.
Can we get something in
They
here?
have the worst offense in the SEC. They have the worst offense.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. No, you can't
watch Penn State's offense. Have you watched Penn State's offense?
Bro, okay, but you got to understand. I got an angel and devil on my shoulder. You're the devil being like, Penn State sucks. And then Jake Hester's the angel being like, Penn State's the number 1 team in the country. Y'all both know football. Y'all both played in the NFL for a long time. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That opinion is still up for grabs. So we got to put Penn State at 8 until it's not. USC 9. And then do we go Alabama or Oklahoma at 10?
I'm going Alabama.
Bama at 10.
Do we bump USC out of 9 and go Bama 9, Oklahoma 10?
Kick out USC out?
Kick USC out.
No,
Alabama 9.
I still trust in USC over Oklahoma. I don't know. Like Oklahoma has played well against bad competition. I don't trust their offense still, and going against a good defense. And at least I know that USC is going to be able to score points against anyone to make it an interesting football game.
Yeah, fuck me. Why would we want a top 10 matchup in the Red River this weekend? You're right.
Yeah.
All right. So final answer, USC, or okay, then did we go Alabama 9, USC 10, and let Alabama jump SC? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Have we completely cut the knees out of all the points we made about A&M now? If Alabama's suddenly like top 10 in the country, are they not the best team in the West? Hey, you've been telling me
go earn it.
They're gonna lose this weekend.
Gotta
and
go
now
earn
you're
it.
like,
Yeah, but they've
Mississippi
the
State
worst.
made LSU look damn good too.
They have the worst loss though. Like I think you have to take that into consideration. Like they got boat waxed by Miami. You know, like that's hard for me to get out of my mind right now. Still, like I'm not gonna reward them for getting their ass kicked by Miami.
Another classic Malafor out of Aaron Murray, combining ass waxed or wax that ass and boat raced. They got boat waxed. I mean, when you just kick the other, you just boat wax him. It's a classic saying. It's said for years.
Better than saying ass raced. That would be a completely different podcast. Save that for only snaps.
All right, y'all. So there it is. Your snaps top 10. Did you write any of that down? I did not.
I did.
Okay, what do we got?
All in the group, all in the doc. All in the doc.
Oh, okay, nice. Right on. Look at you. I'm in my side piece. Okay, so we got at 10 USC, at 9 Alabama, at 8 Penn State, 7 Washington, 6 Oregon, 5 Ohio State, 4 UGA, 3 Michigan, 2 FSU, and number 1, hook him, Texas Longhorns. Number 1. Red River coming up this week, and we gonna see. Hey, is it the Red River rivalry now?
Red River rivalry.
God, it's hard to say, isn't it?
Red River rivalry. Red River rivalry. Red River rivalry.
You know what this
showdown?
Do you know what the single hardest word in the English language is to say?
We should just call it triple R.
No, it's showdown. They changed it. No, they changed it.
Triple R is good run, but then obviously we run into SEO problems.
I know it's true, but then
Triple R, the movie, is one of the most
compare it to Triple R, which is hopefully the movie's as awesome. The game's as awesome as the movie.
Could you imagine if Dylan Gabriel just hopped on his center's shoulders and just started fucking running people over?
Well, I'm hoping that Dylan Gabriel and Quinn Ewers essentially do the dance as the halftime show. That's what I'm hoping for.
Aaron, have you seen Triple R?
No.
The Bollywood smash it? Oh, you got to check out Triple R.
Everything I've seen is Red River Showdown.
Okay.
The logo is.
That makes sense. Rivalries. What's the single hardest word to say in the English language?
Rivalry.
No, close. Rural.
Keep the tongue behind the teeth, and you say it. Rural.
See, no, I feel like you're getting worse the more you say
rural.
Yeah, I told you that. It's impossible. All right, y'all. Huge thank you to everyone joining us on this Monday. Tomorrow we'll be on AMP Live, same time. And as always, youtube.com/@VolumeSnaps. Hopefully by the time we'll be at 6K. Please like it, spread it, share the word, my friends. We love you. And we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Snaps.